Blazers set to tip off against the Los Angeles Clippers at 9 o'clock. Lillard struggling a bit from the field, just 37% over the last 6 games for the Blazers. Hey, they're one of the best teams in the league, though, at beating the best in the league. Currently, the Blazers boast the second best record against teams who are over 500. Blazers looking to improve on that mark with another team on this list, the LA Clippers. We're joined now by Portland head coach Terry Stotts. First and foremost, happy birthday. All right, got to put that out there.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Look,
much appreciated.
Tough 6-game road trip for you. Just finish it up. Is it good to just get that out of the way early in the season?
Well, you got 41 road games, so whenever you have them, you have them. But this was a long trip, 6 games, 11 or 12 days. It was a long one. Everybody was glad to get back.
Hey, Coach, Greg Anthony here. Now, you talked about it. I know you are thrilled to get back after a 6-game trip. Statistically, nothing stands out about your team, but you guys have a solid record. Are you happy with where you are, and what areas do you think you need to improve?
Well, if you'd asked me 3 games ago, we were in the top 10 in both offense and defense, so we were proud of both those. But we've taken a dip with our defense the last 3 games, and that's shifted. We'd like to get back to being a better defensive team, what we had been up until the last 3 games.
Hey, Coach. Happy birthday once again. But,
thank you.
You know, the NBA is so much about the highs. And as a coach, you realize that you really learn who you are as a team, as individuals, when you go through the lows, when you go through losing. So what did you learn most about your team, mostly your leader, Dame Lillard, after last season and coming into this year?
You know, it's funny. I think most NBA seasons are defined how you handle adversity, how you handle the losing streak, how you handle a rough patch of the season. And, you know, we've lost 2 in a row that have been. Oh, I got Doc Rivers over here taking notes on me. See, this is what I got to deal with. This is my building. Jeez. But, you know, we've lost 2 in a row, but quite convincing losses. I think the biggest thing, nothing really surprises me with Damian. Damian's been a great leader for us. The last 3 years, the second half of the season when we've been below 500, he's carried the team on his shoulders. So I can't say that I learned anything new about Damian. He's been a terrific leader since he took the mantle as the best player.
Look, the Western Conference is so difficult to move up and be the 3 seed in the playoffs last year, and then you get swept in the first round by the Pelicans. What was the message coming into the season, in the offseason, after having such a great regular season and a disappointing postseason?
Well, the biggest thing was that we had to own our failure in the playoffs. I mean, we got swept. New Orleans had a terrific series against us, and you know, we couldn't rationalize or anything. We couldn't hide from it. We had to own it and understand that. And going into the season, it certainly gave us a sense of urgency to start the season. The last 3 years, we have gotten off to poor starts. We wanted to certainly learn from that series, things that we could have done better, and show that we were the team that won 49 games and not the team that got swept in the playoffs.
Hey, talk a little bit, Terry. We discussed this last year. You know, statistically, your bench wouldn't have blown anybody away, but you felt like in terms of what you guys asked them to do, they were solid. This year, you have made adjustments in that area. You feel like the bench has improved, and what areas do you think they can continue to get better?
Well, they've certainly improved. You know, Seth Curry was injured recently and missed a few games, so it kind of took away from the continuity of the bench. But Evan Turner has embraced the role as the playmaker coming off the bench. Nick Stauskas and Seth Curry play really well alongside him. Zach Collins has kind of come into his own after his rookie season last year. So, you know, the biggest thing that a coach likes from a bench, or any player for that matter, is consistency. And if our bench can continue to consistently hold leads or build on a lead, that makes every team that much better. But our bench has struggled a little bit in the last few games. But to be honest, it's been one of the positives of our season so far.
Coach Stotts, tell Doc Rivers to leave you alone. We got your back, okay, my friend?
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
So I think one of the most intriguing things that he said there is, we had to own it, right? Because as you know, if you have a letdown in a postseason, that can linger on to the start of the next season. But apparently they use that as a catalyst for how they've come out of the gate.
A lot of times, especially with a young core like they have, you're going to be motivated after disappointment when what happened to them. But I think you could even argue, I don't think they were as good as New Orleans. I mean, once New Orleans got going, they just created a lot of matchup issues that Portland wasn't built for. And as much as I like them, I think this season could be similar for them. I think that if they make the postseason, who they match up with may determine whether or not they have success. There's so much depth in that Western Conference. As good as they've been, you think about it last year, they could have been anywhere from a 3 seed to a 7, right? I think you're going to see a similar dynamic this year for that group. So the regular season is going to be critical. They don't want to find themselves in the bottom half of that Western Conference and having to face one of those juggernauts, but they're an improved roster.
Well, like Jay said, so much of the playoffs are matchups. And so I think this is a great regular season team in Portland. They know how to win games. They're led by Dame Lillard. But the step up this year has been their bench. And if they can continue to be consistent and grow that, obviously I like Evan Turner at the point guard being more of a distributor. Curry coming in, Stotts hitting threes. I think their bench is really going to determine how far they go because Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum are going to definitely play well in the regular season.
One of the things you're alluding to is just knowing your role. When you look at the Portland Trailblazers, it seems like every single person on that team, they know when they're going to be in the game, they know what they're supposed to do, and that identity, it's going to help in the playoffs, right?
Well, that's something you need. You don't need people stepping outside of their roles. We have a saying, there's a reason why some people are open, on the scouting report. And you don't need to prove who you are in the game. Everybody already knows that. And I think that they have that balance of their locker room is close. They're all relatively the same age. And, like Coach said, they owned what happened last year and they're moving forward.
The Portland Trailblazers certainly